Well, this week didn't disappoint with both series. Hello, welcome to Zero Views. I know this is kind of earlier compared to others, but hey, both episodes are out. I should really do this. Yeah. So, let's start with Samurai Jack. We start off with him floating down a river because he'd fallen into a river. He's being swept by the current because he doesn't really have the strength to continue forward for the most part. We see that whenever he gets gets a log as a makeshift raft or something that will just help him, that'll help guide him and stuff. A frog jumps on it, and you think it's gonna be like this weird, like the frog's just like there, and he just stares at it. But no, the frog's all like, "They're coming!" And it caught me off guard, and like he starts trying to like escape, but he ends up just falling unconscious again. Eventually, he makes it on land, where his wounds actually start to get the better of him, like all the small cuts and stuff he sustained and stuff, and probably some damage from just being swept in that current. So yeah, Jack's pretty messed up. The majority of this episode is like Jack trying to come to terms with the fact that, hey, that was actually the first human I killed and not an alien. Or like a weird creature or whatever. So, he has a couple flashbacks to his dad. A lot of people are like, I can't believe they resolved this so easily. But the way Jack is, Jack kind of resolved the problem in a way. He still probably has mental issues. Like it was just short term enough to where he could fight the daughters of Aku, who are still on his trail, obviously. But we see this really nice scenes of where the wolf from last week. I wasn't expecting the wolf to frickin' show up again. He shows up in a cave that Jack's hiding in, and the two help, nurse each other back to health in a way. Obviously, the wolf's kind of annoyed at Jack because Jack tries to wash its wounds with like water, but it's all like barking at him. He's all like, no. But overall, the two realize, hey, they're both warriors that they both come to the realization that, hey, we're both warriors that have fought a really bad battle and we need to recover. So, we're going to, help each other so we can recover and, go on our merry ways. And I thought that was a really cool thing. So eventually the daughters of Aku catch up to where Jack is. And I love, how they don't know what the outside world is. So they don't know what deer is, and I fucking love it. Like, they don't know what a deer is, and they think like a deer with big antlers. They're all like, oh, that must be a servant of Aku. It will kill the female deer or whatever. And they start nuzzling each other because deers are quite peaceful and love and stuff. And they're all disgusted and confused by it because that's not what they expected to happen, and it's great. So Jack basically gives them a warning after they make the deer scramble away. And you can tell that they're not used to people talking to them, to the samurai talking to them, because they think the samurai is just this big demon that they have to kill or whatever, and they don't expect him to talk to them. But yeah, Jack makes short work of 3 out of the 6 that are left, because the other one, the 7th one was dead at the end of the last episode. He makes short work of 3 of the 6. The other 3 continue to fight him. Despite this, though, he manages to lead them to a branch that overlooks like a giant pit or whatever, and manages to knock 2 of them off before fighting the last one. He has a bit of trouble at first, but eventually he goes all out and does hand-to-hand combat, which basically overwhelms them. But basically, last one standing is Ashi. And they get this cool, chain whip fight scene where they're like dangling around the tree branch and stuff, and all this cool like action stuff. Eventually, to where she is dangling off the chain whip, and Jack can just remove it from his arm because it got attached to his arm, and that's how the whole chain whip battle started. And he can just drop it. And the best part about this episode, it came out unintentionally hilarious because all this build-up and stuff, and you just hear Ashi like screaming at him about how he will die, and Aku will like blah 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 and die and die and die, and you could just see Jack's face that he is so done with this shit. And then basically he just he lets her go. She screams and falls to her death. Possibly, she probably might still be alive. So Jack's all like, "Oh, thank goodness!" But then the branch starts cracking, and he falls, and that was funnier than I thought it was gonna be, because he's all like, "Oh, thank goodness, I'm safe," and then the branch breaks and he falls, and it's like, and it's all like, "Whatcha, Samurai Jack," the usual ending or whatever. And it's like, well, that was a nice way to cut it off. Overall, I really liked this week's episode. I knew the Daughters of Aku weren't going to last more than maybe 4 episodes as a group. I could see Ashi lasting till the end of this season, though, as like a travel companion for Jack or something. So that's what I feel anyway. It could happen. Who actually knows what could happen? As for Kamen Rider Ex-Aid this week, though, there is no such thing as filler for Kamen Rider Ex-Aid. So I decided to do a bunch of live tweets this time, just like watching the episode and getting a feel for for live tweeting, see if it's up my alley, and it kind of is. So the basic premise is we get to see the new Genmu Corporation president, and he's hosting like auditions for like the theme song of a new game they're gonna make. And eventually, it gets to the point where one of the auditioners, a band equipment fell on her stomach, so she's in the hospital. They all start arguing and stuff, and eventually the three bandmates basically get infected by the Bugster virus. As a result, we get Motors Bugster level 20. Yes, he's now level 20. What's it called? Gutan Bugster, level 40, and Kaiden Bugster from Giri Giri Chanbara, and the last one was from Gekitotsu Robots. Both of them are level 40. So yeah, no actual real changes to their designs. It's just they just announce it to let you know, hey, we're stronger. So yeah. During the first fight scene, though, we get a cameo because alongside Q Ranger, Ex-Aid got a cameo from Q Ranger, and Q Ranger got a cameo from Ex-Aid because they're promoting the what's it called? The spring movie, which is Show Superhero Tyson. Originally, whenever they did this back with Gaim, they just cut 2 episodes out of each series time slot, and basically, what's it called? They cut two episodes out of one episode out of each series time slot, combine them together for a spring break special. This happened with Gaim and Tokyuger, Driving and Ninja. Gaim and Tokyuger's was alright, and then Driving and Ninja's was just no. It got better once they realized, hey, let's just make these regular episodes, but with cameos from like the Red Ranger and the main rider in the other series. So that happened with ZeroEnchilada. We got Ghost's appearance in there, which was pretty cool. And then we got Zero Eagle in the Ghost episode helping out. And I thought that was really neat. And I like that they're going this route now for these promotions, because to be honest, like, a lot of people are all like, oh, that's cheap, they should keep doing the spring break special. And I'm all like, no, we can actually get plot done in Kamen Rider and character development done in, in Sentai with this, but also still keep the cameo bit, obviously it's random. Because in Q Ranger, like, like a shocker monster shows up. I think it's Space Ega Devil. And I find it funny that it's Space Ega Devil because, space, Q Ranger. Ha! So, basically, the main Q Ranger, Lucky, Shishi Red, he uses the Ex-Aid Q-Tama, which is their like transformation devices. He doesn't get an Ex-Aid power-up, no. It summons Ex-Aid in level 1 to fight for him. And I just find that funny. And it's also kind of concerning, because it's like, you have a device that can summon heroes now. What the hell? So yeah, Lucky just randomly shows up in Ex-Aid, which is weird because of the way the plots kind of contradict each other, in a sense. Point being, Lucky shows up, is all like, Yosha Lucky, which is, his catchphrase. We get a cool little roll call with, with frickin' Ex-Aid level 10, that giant baby suit, and then, fight really quickly. Kaiden and Gutan get away. Motors reverts back to the lead band member, and they take her back to the CR. Emu's confident that, everyone's buddy now, so he's all like, let's join forces to beat those runaway bugsters, because, there's 3 of them, there's 3 of us, we can do it. Obviously, Hiro and Taiga disagree about this. So, Emu, he kind of gives this, like, stony face. He's all like... And I captioned the stony face with, this is the face of a man who is sick of Hiro and Taiga's attitude. Because Taiga is all like, I'm going to take all your shots. Whoever beats them all wins or whatever. And Hiro's all like, you don't tell me what to do, intern. And I'm all like, bitch, you were just calling out Emu's name next week. Stop being so tsundere. So, yeah. Overall, that's basically the plot of the episode for the main part of it. The Bugster breaks out again, so Motors is back, and the riders begin fighting them. But let's talk about our subplot, in the fact that, again, Ex-Aid has no filler. And you want to know what? This entire band thing? Also a setup. You wish I was joking, but I'm not. It's actually a setup. And it's great. It's amazing. Okay, so, the way this works is the president goes to meet Asuna because they have the patient who's infected by Motors in the CR, obviously, because the other 2 kind of just ran away. He goes to visit her. He's all like, oh no, our new game and stuff. It's all like blah blah blah. And Asuna basically reveals herself to be Poppy because Genmu Corporation president. I can't remember his name. I'll just call him the Lovebird though. So yeah, Mr. Lovebird here is all like creeping out Asuna and stuff. And he's the one that causes the lead band member to break out into the Bugs device again and produce Motors, who runs off. He's all like, oh, I have your audition results. And he just looks at, they stare at each other intently before he's all like, oh, better luck next time, which stresses her out. And, that leaves him all alone with Asuna, who, he basically mind controls her. With the power of love. And I'll be honest when I say that, basically I feel like he is the Tokimeki Crisis Bugster. What is Tokimeki Crisis? That's a new Gashat. The Gashat that will be used by Kamen Rider Poppy. Considering his vanity with himself, the way the whole love thing, and the way he carries himself and stuff, and the way he talks, there is definitely a high chance this guy is the Tokimeki Crisis Bugster. And if we don't see his Bugster form, I can bet you he's going to be used to create the Tokimeki Crisis Gashat for Poppy. That's just me, though. So, during this all, we get a fight scene with with Taiga versus the Kaiden Bugster, who's annoyed that Taiga won't, use swords, and Taiga's bang bang simulations and stuff, and so he's shooting him down. He's all like, "Why would I even want to get close to you?" In an obvious manner. Hero's struggling against Guton, who's level 30, and he doesn't have not level 30. He's level 40, and Hero doesn't even have level 50 this time. But Hero gets smart and starts using power-ups, and it's not just the muscle-up power-up, which is great. He actually used the... excuse me. Was going to kind of burp there. He basically uses the invisibility power-up to gain the advantage in terms of, attacking and defending. And then Emu goes level 99 against Motors, and surprisingly, that suit can run pretty fast, I guess, because he has the max speed stat and stuff. He reprograms Motors to where he can't ride bikes anymore. And Motors is so much the butt of jokes when it comes to the Bugsters, because first he gets his ass kicked by Genmu, and was called a decoy or whatever, and now he loses his bike. The poor guy, he just wants to race. So yeah, eventually they gather up all the Bugsters and do a pretty cool finisher, while Poppy is singing a song, actually. Yeah, because what's it called? The way the mind control works with the Mr. Lovebird Genmu Corporation president, new guy, he basically has her sing a song and stuff. And now, what's it called? During that, we get a cool fight scene and stuff, and it's great. And we get the finish here, bang bang critical fire, maximum mighty critical finish, and Dragonite Hunter critical strike. But the best part about that is Hero shoots a power-up above him that basically allows him to create shadow clones. He creates 7 more copies of himself. So basically 8 heroes, 1 maximum Ex-Aid, and 1 level 50, Taiga. Wait, hold on. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Hey! I just realized, the 8 heroes, basically, level 5 each, basically. It all adds up to 40, so he matches the Guton Bugster in power, basically, with that finisher, which is actually pretty cool. I just noticed that. So yeah, once the fight is said and done, he's Mr. New Genmu Corporation president is all like, "Yes, you will be the diva for our new game, Kamen Rider Chronicle." And we get this really creepy pan out from the Do Re Mi Fa Beat game cabinet, where it basically glitches off, and then the lights start turning off, and then the scene glitches, and then the lights in the CR completely turn off ominously. Before we get to the heavy stuff, though, it's nice to see all 3 riders doing a bit of teamwork in terms of doctor stuff, because I mentioned earlier one of the band member who got injured in the first place with the accident. They got hit in the stomach with band equipment, so they'd gotten surgery, yes, but because of all the moving around the Motors Bugster forced her to do, she's getting internal bleeding again because of all that kind of stuff. And Taiga's all like, he's really getting good at playing doctor, and Hero's all like, yeah, his internship must have helped him a lot. But hey, Parad comes into the Genmu Corporation building, or the secret area, and he summons all of the Bugsters, and it's cool to see all the Bugster shoots in one location. We see 8 Bugsters. That's when he brings out Graphite, who is surprised he's even still alive. And Parad's all like, yeah, what's it called? Genmu didn't know one thing. When a Bugster achieves their perfect form, they can be brought back at any time. So I'm assuming the reason they have the bug visor is to back up the data of Bugsters, because they know they won't be able to achieve their perfect form. Graphite was able to achieve his perfect form, so obviously he can be brought back at any time now, which is very interesting. I'm curious as to how they'll kill off Graphite then, all things considered, and if the other Bugsters achieve perfect forms as well. So, Mr. New Genmu Corporation president is revealed to be in cahoots with, Parad, and brings in a brainwashed, Poppy Pipapopo. And now that all 10 Bugsters are in place, he's able to create the Kamen Rider Chronicle Gashot completely now. So, he absorbs all the Bugsters, Poppy and Graphite's actors. The profiles are added to the enemy roster. And now we have Kamen Rider Chronicle, which is releasing next week. Oh boy, I need to put in my pre-order copy for that, or I just need to figure out something to get that game, because oh my goodness, Kamen Rider Chronicle looks like it's going to be a good one. A game where you turn into a Kamen Rider and fight for survival. And I'm assuming all the CR riders, or rather our main riders, are going to be targeted like hell now because of all the power-ups they have. Because in one of the preview images we see a ride player. I'm just going to call them ride players for now. They're basically brown trimmed down Ex-Aid suits with barely anything on them. We see one in one of the preview images with a Gashkan Sparrow, so I'm assuming he takes Girigiri Chambara for just even like a second or whatever. And so, something tells me the heroes are going to have a lot of random people after their asses because they want to grow stronger for Kamen Rider Chronicle. Kamen Rider Chronicle, oh boy, that is going to be fun, because it looks like once you defeat those guys, it's game over. So, yeah. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. The next arc is starting, and you people thought this episode was going to be filler. Ha! I say ha to that. Oh man. Overall, it was a nice breather episode, though. I can definitely say it was a breather episode, but they also incorporated the breather elements into the fact that the entire whole band plot and them getting injured and getting infected with the Bugster virus was all a ploy to distract the CR riders from them getting Poppy on their side. So, yeah. Overall, good breather episode. The breatherness kind of went into the plot, so it makes sense now. But yes, Kamen Rider Chronicle is completed. Next week we've got civilians turning into Kamen Riders. Oh boy, this next arc's gonna be a fun one, I can already tell. So yeah. I'm Zero, this is Zero Views. This week was pretty good. Hopefully you can keep it up. I'll be seeing you guys next time.